Okay. Last night was hilarious. Two women walked by my apartment. Now my apartment's bugged. And they said, we almost got away with it. No, they did. Almost got away with it. What was she thinking making all that stuff up? They knew she made all that stuff up. They knew on Thanksgiving of 18, the kids got caught standing for the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Bubble. Grandma needs to get out. And then later on, for we're making everything up. It's a games of pretend, laughing with Laura. All the police know, and these police that were at the Canton FBI listed me informant, okay? Told everybody nobody was supposed to touch me, okay? Ever again. They're going to put threats in the mall, threats in the stores, have people stalk her, list her informant. No man's to ever touch her, okay? And, that I found out later that he left me on his desk. February 7th of 22, right outside AutoZone, okay? Some guy was blaming Will again. And he said, look, Will did very little with this case and left it on his desk. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's why they got away with it so far, okay? That's why they got away with it so far. He created a police investigation. Two of the sheriffs had been talking. Are you interested in working Karen around the house? This is after everything bad happened. He said, what's that? One of us have to listen or watch her every day. He created a police investigation, not knowing. The police were involved for a judge's daughter, Michelle. Judge Pete looks like a little old Santa Claus. There's a picture of him on the wall, 9/18/19. Peter something, okay? He looks, and he'd been following me around for 3 years. Okay? And it's his daughter, Michelle. Memorial Day weekend 2019 food counter. Old white woman with an African American man at Walmart 62. For it's my daughter. Her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter. They did all this for. And our family watching her doing this. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend? But the state of Ohio who protects her. Mocking me. They're getting paid to protect me. And it's them. It's them. Auntie Shell, Michelle, even Dixie knew about Michelle, the young blonde girl. Yeah. Now, I do need, Will did create a real threat of life investigation, put me in protected custody, thinking the police could handle stalkers in the store, and have the police watch her. Nothing will happen to her, list her informant. No one's to ever touch her again. This cult wants to threaten her life and leave threats and hire people to stalk her. No one's to touch her. He left me on his desk. Well, I live in basically like a concentration camp. And they run around telling everybody they're agents and they're stationed in the courthouse. And they're not anything but dirty undercover police. Okay. Well, I found out, okay. David Mintz on my phone, he hit me with a board in my face for getting smart with him. Well, a week later, while we're still moving in because we had everything in our storage shed. Not storage shed, but we rented a storage unit and down at Danny's. Okay. We came home one day and the door is wide open. There's a big hole in the wall about the size of an orange or grapefruit. We're looking around and nothing's missing. He's like, did one of the realtors not realize we closed? So I put mesh up and I plastered it, okay? And I sanded it with electric sander. It did real well, but if you scratch off that paint, you'll see it. I think that's when they did the illegal surveillance. Because we didn't have a refrigerator for 2 weeks. We had to order it from Home Depot. And Dave went into town by himself It's my daughter. Her husband dates. He met her in Venice when she was having a stomach spell. No, I got hit with a boar in the face. I had a concussion. See what I mean? Alright. Now, I have never been questioned with Miranda rights of any wrongdoing by any officer, any agent, any man, no lady, no attorney, nobody. Nobody said a word. Okay? Of any wrongdoing. I had bruises. I had bruises the size of oranges and grapefruits on my legs. Handprints embedded in my arm. I even had a gash as long as a cigarette and as big, wide as one. And I called Dave. I'm like, what on earth? He's like, maybe I got you with my toenail. I had to bandage it. It's laid open. People said they were even abusing me under drugs before. And that would explain the big hand marks. How sick of bastards are these people? They're sick. And these people are smart enough to be afraid of them. I do need someone to look into 12/21/18. Now, there is real threat life investigation. Real legal tapes that will started September 27th, 18. The next week, someone, a heavyset white guy, came in and said, I asked Dave about these people threatening her. He better not put his hands on her until he talked to Dave. You cannot be in somebody's home. I told Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, you know, I said, it comes down to no matter what. Nobody's allowed to watch you in your home. Nobody can. It's illegal. It would be illegal to look or listen until you talked to Will and gave that statement asking for help of a threat on your life. Nobody could watch you. It's illegal. It's illegal surveillance. Considered police abuse, police misconduct, and entrapment. It is. And then the March 2nd to the 3rd of 21, my car's bugged. Okay. They were talking about putting 2 clips together and put me in a porn. Okay. And I made my stomach bleed for like 4 days. And I kept thinking, what are they going to do? And then March 13th of 21, after I was mistreated at Altman Hospital. Now, they blamed the chip on the agency to Altman Hospital, okay? They told Dr. Alan and Tina some damn master neurotomy. They have to keep their tapes from medical malpractice, too. You'll see the ones involved there. Okay? Well, I go over to Mercy Medical, and some lady showed up, and she comes in, and the nurse, and she's like, the only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. I'm like, okay. And the guy's like, that's sick. She said, no, it's funny. That's all they had. She just adjusted herself. I'm like, what? And then right in town, some lady came up and went, you didn't expose yourself. You're good. You just wiped off some water with clothes on, something simple and basic. And I'm like, okay, you're weird. And what were you doing watching me in my home? Okay? And, I mean, think about that. It's stupid. And then the 2 clips together, then all of a sudden they said, you're weird with yourself. You expose yourself. And I'm like, my God, that never happened. Then I'm thinking 2 clips, somebody else's body. And then they kept describing it when I was out. And then it's like, the only time I touch myself like that is showering. I go outside and they're laughing at me. She figured out what they did. Well, Ed at the Oakland apartment maintenance man had made fun of me for that altered tape. And someone called him December 9th at 21 at 4 p.m. All the tapes before were them, not her. Wow, what's going on? It's a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to find out if someone will actually stop them. He told the older African-American man that works with him a few days later. Okay? I went to the Hunger Task Force that day. There was a bald man there in the back distributing food. December 9th, 21, they'd have the list of him. He comes out in front of everybody. It makes my stomach turn scanner and plays like this. We always knew the tapes before were them, not her, so we never said a word. I was so mad my body was shaking. They even said, one time off in the dark, Chris, no man actually talked to her. No, we used Joe Saramon, or said a lethal outlaw drug. You say yes to anything. Oh my God. You can't get somebody high to get him something stupid. Came out, Dave was roofing me, and that's why I was throwing up every time he touched my drinks. 8, 9, first thing in the morning, the apartment building for me, second one across the fence, they came out laughing at me. She finally figured out it was Dave, okay? 8/8/21/2, a guy that looks like Henry Maffei from the internet, been following me around for 3 years, okay? Come racing down that ass actually fentanyl. Okay? I'm like, Drama Queen, I've been tortured. On Fairlawn Street, they yell out. He yells out, I feel bad about everything. 8/8/21, 8:15 to 8:30 at night. Now my car's bugged, okay? Did you know he fentanyled her and told her to say it before? No, we just found out. We just didn't know. They already knew the kids were lying, so they thought they'd make a book on a roofing. Okay? June 23rd, I'm buying paint in Walmart 62 to July 4th, okay? There's 2 investigators following me around. What are these people talking about? She never heard anybody. Girls by the paint aisle. Oh my goodness, the boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. They told the Department of Disability a few weeks, about a month and a half ago on a Wednesday at 11 o'clock. She was drugged and told to say it before. I've never been questioned. I was raped and tortured by a cop July to September 19th, Lieutenant Glitch. I have a picture of my face. Even with makeup on, you can see where they embedded the pillow in my face. It had like a welt for weeks. You can see my blacked out eyes, even with makeup. You can see bruises on my face. You can see my smashed nose. These people are highly dangerous. I was going to try to help an Asian lady that lied and said her husband died on the gunshot night. She didn't die. He didn't die. Some guy had said, how did they do that? Do they have microphones in the house? And to make it echo like that, because it was echoing so loud I had to cover my ears. Solution of murder. Like the guy said. And then you got the other side of the duplex burning as big as an ambulance, so it looks like you're covering up. It's the neighbor's kid that tried to grab me the next day when I ran from Dave. The white man with the black hair and long black beard. He said he had a grown son. But Dave's out there with shooters talking about killing me. And the next day I ran from him, it was the neighbor's kid. Dave out checking trail cameras. Delusion of murder. Then the cops inside Walmart. Old white guy, gray hair, mustache, a group of them. You how stupid you look sitting on that floor. Well, if you had a green laser light crossing your eyes and lights crossing out back, you'd hide on the floor too. And gunfire going off. Knowing your house is bugged and you're supposed to be in protected custody. Then there was 2 African-American officers with dreadlocks. At the, by March of 19, inside Walmart, there's self-pay registers by the food counter. There's a long one. They're right there. We stayed on the gunshot night because Dave's girlfriend's prettier, and the guy running it didn't blame us. Mocking me. Because it was an illusion of murder. To scare me out of the house. It's still racketeering and extortion. Someone did try to shoot me in the head driving. I looked over and there was a gun pointed towards my head and he was pulling the trigger back, and I slammed, tuck, and swerve, and they talked in Walmart by the register. She almost got shot. We have to leave her in high danger. No one's allowed to pull her out. Failure to protect is police abuse and misconduct. The whole thing is. And if you pull Walmart's tapes within 10 days of 12/21/18, you'll see a group of them by the TVs. Now, they tape an audio through the whole store. We implanted a neural trap. We all can read your thoughts. Where 12/21/18, in the neck. Wake up, hair's missing. I got a dent in my skull. My skin feels funny, and it is pounding. I wake up 6 hours later. There's another man's comb on the dresser. Okay, and Dave's accusing me of having an affair, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. Okay, I didn't, and they kept breaking in, stabbing me with needles. And they come in Walmart. We always knew you were innocent. Don't you remember the sodium pentothal? Sodium pentothal is a lethal outlaw drug. You say yes to anything. They were stabbing me with needles, trying to keep me high. And Dave was roofing drinks, so I'd throw up every time he touched one of my drinks. I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week up there. I weighed 212 to 217 October 1st, and by April 1st, I weighed 150 pounds. Yeah. Now, I need someone to actually investigate this and figure out what they did to me that day. A Canton officer walked by me in a restaurant and his phone dinged. I got something in me. Okay? And why was I out 6 hours? Okay? And they need to pull the house tapes between July and September 19, the violent beat, rape, and torture. They sold the login to a real protective life case. People have this. I told you, Faith Family Church has it. St. Mary's had it. There's a lady in domestic violence. Had it. Warren came and yelled at some officers for being mean to me. Until the point you can hear them out in the room. Truck drivers have it. Old ladies, teenagers. There's people on 13th Street and can't have it. There's a nursing home on 13th Street, guys, and there had it. Macedonian Fire Department. There was people in Bedford. Amazon delivery drivers. Now, they hired actors. There was December 16th or 18th of 18. I went down to Bob Evans and I met Darlene for Pie. There was a bald man with a long black beard, red beard, and a crazy blonde lady. He's like, I'm Karen Chandler. Those are my men, Itchy boys, and they're over there waving at me. And the lady's like, I'm a psychiatrist. She needs one. They're actors. They were part of, we got to chip her. You can't do that. Why? She didn't do anything wrong and her family don't care about her. Wendy's in Madison before it happened. Okay. They were part of sitting in there when the men were saying, give your jewelry back. I said, give it all back. And they put a hit on my granddaughter's life and thinking they would stop. I told Dave I didn't want it. Got $18,000 in diamonds. Okay? Yeah. The illegal surveillance, if you go in somebody's home and watch them, and it's not a threat to life investigation with Miranda rights, ask for help, and not notifying each person that there's a threat, it's called entrapment. It's 5 years federal. You don't want to put your name on that. Okay? You don't. There was even a lady that said she was going to extort money out of me for the altar tapes. And she showed up. And said, none of this is funny. We found out they made all that up by in Save-A-Lot. I can give you the time and date. She admitted it. Tape it on you. And you know, 15 years ago, I had a little tiny cameras in the corner. Went into a VHS tape. I could hear a kid insult me across the room. They're called camcorders. Tape it on you. And think 15 years later, how much better they are. Okay. Now I'm going to upload this. I need someone to help me. Because there is more threats. For when they find you alone, that's when they'll take care of you. Don't want to die. They have a field picked out south of Ravenna where they're supposed to cut up my face and stab me to death. Don't want that one to happen either. I was talking to my one friend that used to be a prosecutor. And he said, you know, once you're in a protection program, they can't drop you. It's illegal to drop you. Once you're listed an informant, you're listed an informant, you can't get out unless they move you to like a witness protection program. It's illegal for them to drop you. Because once the government protects you, you're protected. I need somebody to do something. Judge Pete and his undercover police are not funny. It's even illegal for police to give out any names, date, information, or any details of the case. And they sold a real threat to life investigation. If you go to the North Canton or Jackson Police, June of 19, they're sitting out front. There's a man, at Liberty House here on Hillsdale Dales Road in the back on the phone. You made up an investigation to watch her before. That's funny. You did what to her before? That's funny. She must really like him. Okay? Can't make up an investigation. You can't have an investigation without someone. You can't not talk to somebody. I need someone to help.